I love the letter to the Hebrews. I think it is one of the most amazing documents that we have in the whole Bible. Somehow when you get here into the New Testament, you discover light being shone right back into the Old Testament. And suddenly things in the book of Leviticus that just seemed so complicated when we were going through the law begin to make perfect sense. And you begin to realize why God says it needs to be done like this and done like that. And when you're looking into that, you realize that actually that first covenant, that covenant that we call the Old Covenant, the covenant in Moses, in some ways it wasn't the first covenant because there'd been a covenant with Noah where God promised never to flood the earth again. There'd been a promise with Abraham where God said, through you all the nations of the earth will be blessed. And there was a subsequent one when God covenanted with David that there would be a king on his throne forever. But this covenant with Moses is just so important because it lays the foundation for what was on God's heart right from the beginning. So I'm just going to read one verse. I could read the whole of the Hebrews letter. I'd love to do that with you, but maybe another day. But Hebrews 9:15 says this: "For this reason, Christ is the mediator of a new covenant, that those who are called may receive the promised eternal inheritance. Now that he's died as a ransom to set them free from the sins committed under the first covenant." You see, God's heart from the beginning has been that we might have an eternal inheritance. He's not just interested in giving us a covenant that will see us through this lifetime with rules and regulations to get us by. He's interested in bringing us into a relationship with him that guarantees we're going to have an eternal inheritance, to be with him forever and know his life forever. And so what he wants to do in bringing us into that eternal inheritance is to establish a new covenant which really picks up on what was said to Abraham about through you all the nations of the earth will be blessed. And here we have this new covenant promised by Jeremiah, promised by Ezekiel, and yet fulfilled in Jesus. And in this it says, he has died as a ransom to set them free from the sins committed under the first covenant. So those who are under that first covenant of Moses can know what it is to be totally liberated because Jesus has died to set them and us free from all those sins that are piled up against us. Whether they were the kind of things that you'd see as breaking the Mosaic law or the sins that we've committed who were never under that law, we know what it is to be set free into that eternal inheritance that's always been on God's heart. There's so much in this Hebrews letter. It's about better covenant, better promises. God's just offering us so much. So let's open our hearts widely and receive all that God has for us, all the liberty and all the freedom, and pray that it won't just be us that knows that, but that all the nations of the earth will enter into the fullness of that which God desires every single person to have.